Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to the Christopher Marc Show. So today I have the privilege of being in front of oh man, I would say she is like a beautiful humanitarian, a person who gives back and support and uplifts so many people in the community. Yadira, can you tell everybody your full name and what do you do?
Yes, so thank you so much again, Christopher. My name is Yadira Johnson. I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm the oldest of several children, but most importantly, in my career field, I am program manager for the National Center for Urban Solutions. So I oversee one of our workforce projects in Philadelphia, connecting parents with a robust career opportunities. So we work with various employers here in Philadelphia and other counties. And alongside my workforce head, I am very involved in our health and wellness arm. So I do spearhead our women's health and wellness initiative named Uplift Her. So we just got our feet started doing this work last year of September and just really doing the work to build our foundation here. We started out in Columbus, Ohio, which our headquarters is, branded that off to Houston, Texas, and now Philadelphia. So I'm really excited with the work that we're going to be doing.
Y'all see my point? Y'all see my point? Okay, all right. So let's get into this. So let's backtrack. Let's take people back to uh, when when did you know that this was what you were going to do? Like for you personally, like when was this when did this begin, this path towards this?
That's a great question. So I always say that this kind of fell in my lap. So I had to go through a lot of different career paths, picking up different skills, having different mentors, and having conversations on where do I see myself going or what do I see myself doing. So I had a lot of great mentors along the way. The only one thing is I knew from a very young child that I wanted to graduate from an HBCU. So my parents graduated from Cheney University. My grandmother graduated from Cheney University. I have other members of my family who have graduated from college, but I just knew that I wanted to graduate from an HBCU. Very proud of my blackness. That was in my home, and I have a lot of hustlers in my family, and those who don't take no. So they just keep pushing, they keep going after their goals and whatever it is that they are interested in. So I've always had that spirit in me. But as far as what I'm doing right now, this literally fell in my lap. I'm a very spiritual person, so I've always prayed for to be with people who I can learn from and grow from, and just create a great environment and building my village. So I've been grateful to do this work with NC West for 2 going on 3 years. But who I am to my core as far as helping people, that's always been in me.
What would you say is I guess like more so like, what would you say is was the moment that you realized that this was that you were good at it? Like, you know what I mean? Because sometimes like things do fall in your lap, but sometimes you're just like, okay, am I good at this? Like, is this gonna work? So how did you know that you were good at it?
Yes, so once I realized the positive feedback that I started receiving from my peers and those who I work with, that really gave me the fire to say, hey, I really am doing well at this. And this has been the first company that I work with outside of college that has really challenged my mindset and put me in different opportunities to grow. So usually, sometimes you don't have that at work. So my peers really want to see me do my best and they challenge me each and every day. And they aren't yes men. So sometimes somebody has to step in and tell you, maybe this is a different way that you should approach this or do this. So I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate challenging my mindset and those who are invested in my personal growth.
I think that's the key, right? Like if you have people around you, the right people, then it's really
Yes.
like the determining factor of, okay, I can do this. And it's also like seeing how people respond. Like I remember when, you know, I first started doing like poetry. And before I used to think to myself, I'm like, am I good at this? Right? Like, and then you get in front of everybody and they're like, you know, you do your poem and then you get off the stage and then they clap. And then
Yes.
you're like, oh man, that's nice. They clapping for somebody else. And then they be like, yo, you did a good job. And I'm like, what? You talking to me? You're like, yeah, you did a good job. Oh, man, thanks. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? But you
Yes.
don't know until you get that reaction. So I think that's beautiful that you were able to have that, not only have the support, but just also have the response that you needed to keep you moving forward.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what would you say is your ultimate mission now? And like for you personally, like aside from what you do professionally, like would you say is your ultimate mission for yourself?
My ultimate mission is just for my daughter to be proud of me. So I do have a small child, my daughter Kendall. She's 3 years old. I'm very just grateful to be her mother, and we just have a great time together. She goes along with me doing my work thing. We have great moments together doing our fun thing, but I just want to make sure that the things that I'm doing right now leave a great impact on her, and that she sees how hard I'm going for the life that we live and will live in the future. So I just want to make sure that she knows that her mother loves her. And then we just had a great time. And then I'll leave something on earth for her, whatever that may be, when I leave this earth. Thank
That's
you.
powerful. Like, because I think sometimes, like, people, everyone has a reason of why they do things. And most times it stems back to their family. Like, it stems back to, whether it's your children or your parents or whatever it may be, it always stems back to that. So I think that's really amazing. So with all your accomplishments, what would you say was your toughest moment?
Hmm. What I would say my toughest moment was graduating from college, right? And not really knowing which way I'm going, right? As far as career, I'm stepping into this whole adult arena. I'm living by myself. And this was before I had my daughter. But once I got pregnant and I was like job hopping and not knowing, where I would stay permanently, just to gain some stability, that was the most scariest part for me, because I was terminated from one of my jobs at the height of COVID, not knowing where my next dollar would come in at. I just knew that I had this degree from Lincoln University. I have a great personality, and my wardrobe is the finest. But I just didn't know, what am I going to do with this? So I had a moment of realization. I'm here in this home. I'm pregnant with my daughter. I have to make something work. So I took on a few like temporary jobs, and you have to have FMLA while you're out so you can have some income, before you enter back in the workforce. And I did not have that because I was job hopping. So I wasn't at one job, at the allotted time in order to receive those benefits. So I just was hustling, making everything work that I could, whether that be Uber, DoorDash, taking on temporary gigs, where I could do like call center jobs from home, and that really gave me some time to really think. I also did therapy in my third trimester of my pregnancy, which helped me out a lot, and realized a lot of my past childhood traumas, and just give me a different perspective on life, and the questions that I wasn't asking myself or my peers weren't asking me. So that period of my life was really, really scary because I didn't want to bring a whole life into this world. And I'm just clueless as to everything that's going on around me. And I don't know, you know, how to put my next foot in front of the other. So with time, with prayer, with encouragement from my loved ones, therapy, that catapult me to taking on this temporary job I had as a clerk for a district attorney's office. And then I got this call for the company I'm with now, and that totally like brightened up my day. So I'll share a little personal story. I was having a conversation with my therapist, and I was talking to her about the new job that I just landed with NCUS. And she asked me, how long do you see yourself being with this job? And I told her, I'm going to be there until I retire. So that wasn't something that she was normally like used to me saying, because I'm used to, going from job to job to job to job. And I've been there since 2022 and ongoing. I'm very proud of that. But just that was a very scary moment, because I didn't know what was going to happen next. And I just know that I had this child that I'm about to give birth to, and I just wanted everything to be, perfect.
It's funny. Like, I think when things like that happen, like you're jumping from things to things. Like, you're trying to figure out everything all at once, and you're just like, is this going to work? Like, am I going to get like
Yes.
together? Is this going to actually make sense one day? And you'd be surprised, but it's like, it's weird. It's like you're learning yourself in that moment, like, and then you're also allowing things to take time. Because here's the thing, it's like, without you being able to take that time, you wouldn't have had the opportunity, because there were so many other things moving at the same time for you, like in your favor, simultaneously, while you were working on you.
Yes.
And that's what's crazy about life.
Yeah, that, and then just like societal pressures, and then it's like, oh, I'm on social media and I see my friend from middle school relocated to California or something of that nature, and it's like, what am I doing? So all of those things combined, in addition to what you said, it was a really scary time for me. But I'm proud of myself that I'm here today. I'm doing this interview with you, sharing my story with the world. So I appreciate this.
Yeah, it's no problem, man. I think that's the thing. Like, when you're right. Like, when you look on social media and you see your friends and you see people who are, you know, becoming successful in what they do, it makes you question, like, is something wrong with me? Am I like
Yeah.
off? Am I this or that and the third? And so I think sometimes, with people, they just have to remember that um, there's a weight that comes with what you do. Like, when it comes down to like your goals or whatever you're trying to achieve, it's like there's a weight that comes with it, and you might not be strong enough yet. But when it
Mm,
happens, then you're going to be like, you know what, I can handle this weight. I can handle this weight. And that's why you can say to your therapist, like, oh, I'm going to stay there until I retire, because you're strong enough now. Like, if you had got that earlier on, you probably would have been like, oh, man, I'm not ready for this.
yes.
Because you gotta. It's also like the thing of like, you help so many people.
Yes.
You listen to people, you support them, you try to help them find resources, like, and not only that, but when people start going crazy,
Yeah. I hear a lot of interesting stories on a daily, so
right? And when you have that, you have to be solid within yourself for that. That's not an easy thing,
yeah.
and I think that's the beauty of what you do. So you're strong.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
you're strong. So what is it like hopping from, I guess, so you have a few different places that do this within your company. So you have Philadelphia, and then you said you had Houston, and what was the other one?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. So what is it like shifting from those different environments? Are you kind of placed in Philly primarily, or do you have to go to the other ones as well?
So I am based here in Philadelphia. I work here in Philly. I do have the opportunity to travel to our headquarters in Columbus, Ohio, whether that be, i.e., a business meeting or something of that nature. We have a company retreat that we do annually. And then also with Houston, Texas, our Wellness Day. So we do our health and wellness arm out there as well.
Got you. So now that you're here, right?
Yes.
what has been the journey like for you being here in Philly? Like, being able to, um, like, how are people responding to what you're doing? Like, is it great within the community? Like, people love it?
People are receiving me well and the work that I'm doing well. I think people are like really shocked about the work that I'm doing because they haven't seen me in this light. So I haven't been this very outspoken or out in the community, building my network with people. But I believe people always see something special in me, but they just see a different side of Yadira in 2025, right? But it's been well received. I appreciate my community so much. I was actually thinking about relocating, but I was like, I might as well stay here and build my foundation here where I was born and raised and just, build things and let things evolve.
Yeah, because it's not like even though you're here, it doesn't mean that you can't like reach people worldwide. Like even for me, like when I work within my community is like all over. I have people from now, connecting with people that are in Kentucky, California, like in France, like so it's not necessarily about, you can build here, but it's also like you can, because of social media and everything like that, you have a message. Like what you're doing is so powerful because now it's like you can reach people and let them know, hey, like you guys can do this too. This is how it
Yeah.
works, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So how does it feel you um leading people?
Sometimes it's a little nerve wracking because I feel like I'm under a microscope and I just want to do everything right. And that's been in me since young. So I am the oldest. So it's always been instilled in me to do things the correct way, to lead the pack. Um, and I just want to just make sure that I'm delivering a great message. And then whatever it is that I'm doing, that inspires the next person to do it or even do it better. So, but I appreciate the position that I'm in because I've asked for it, I've prayed for it. So now that I'm here in this seat, I just have to keep going. Keep reminding myself of my why. So I do that a lot. And just continue to do the work. It's not easy at all. But I continue to just remind myself of why I'm doing what I'm doing and making sure that aligns with, things that I like and what I want to create here for myself and my child.
Yeah, because I think leading people is hard. Like honestly, because you're the one that gets the blame.
Yeah.
You hear all the complaints. You're the one that you have to stay calm. So you can't react, right? Like you have to
Yes.
hold your composure. A
Yes. A lot of times.
lot of times, like you have to be that person, and so being able to do that, um, you know, that takes a lot of self control. Because and not only that, but it also takes a lot of empathy. Like because almost like when you have your about this, you have a child, like they cry, right? They
Yes.
cry and they go to the bathroom and they throw up and they everything else, and so
Yeah.
you're like, why is this happening? Can't you just stop this, right?
Yes. Yes.
And most times, even though you're dealing with adults, the same thing applies, right? It's like this person, they are who they are. There's certain things that the thing that makes them good at what they do is also the thing that is where the friction is as well. It's almost like if you deal with an artist, like most artists are, they're very extremely creative, right? But it's also, you can see how their creativity is connected to the struggles in their life and
Hmm.
how it goes hand in hand. And so you just have to say, okay, you know what? Let me help you in this area. You're good in this area. Let me support you in this area. So I think that's the beauty of what you do. Like you being able to lead people, um, You gotta be strong, man.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to be strong. So let me ask you
Yeah.
this. If someone was following your path, um, what inspirational message would you give them, you know, to help them to keep going?
I would say first believe in yourself because sometimes your goals and what it is that you want to do, sometimes it can seem crazy or out of this world to the next person, and they don't necessarily understand what you are going to do with this. So, a lot of things that I do in my line of work, a lot of people don't understand, like, hey, why do you have to go here? Or why do you have to talk to this person? Or, but believe in yourself. Patience is key. And I would say align yourself with people of where you see yourself going. So if you know that I want a mansion, or I want to make X amount of dollars, or I like that this person how they handle conflict. Start to align yourself with those type of people because there can be a lot of teaching moments when you're surrounded with them. That can help you in your personal journey and just continue to be consistent because if you're doing the work and you're doing great work, not just good work, great work, people will notice it and there'll be conversations, behind the scenes. Hey, I like what this person is doing. Let me reach out when the time is right. Just like this interview we're doing right now. I didn't see this work coming at all. And I was a little bit nervous about doing it, just to be quite honest. But I was like, my story may be inspirational to someone else.
Yeah, because I think that's, I always tell people this. It's like there's so many people. We're all doing something similar, right? But I think what separates us and makes us stand out is our story. Like the journey ain't the same for anybody. Like everybody's like, oh, I used to live on a mountaintop. Now I'm actually taking care of a village of people. It's like, whoa, what? How did that happen? Like, or
Yes.
for you, it's like I'm jumping from job to job, but I find the perfect job that allows for me to blossom into and allows for me to be the person that I'm always felt like I could be. It's like there are probably people out there who are saying, hey, I'm trying to look for a job like that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to look for a place to belong. And so, and they feel like it's impossible. And then they hear your story and it's like, you know what, it is possible. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the beauty of what you're doing. It's like your story is the thing that stands out amongst all the things that you're doing because
Okay.
it separates you, lets you, be who you are. So how can people find you, connect with you, or be able to support your company and what you guys do?
Yes, so a lot of my connections that I make, I'm on LinkedIn. So it is my first and last name, Yadira, Yadira, and my last name, Johnson, Johnsson. So I'm always heavily active on LinkedIn, reposting events that I've done or just putting out the word about upcoming projects. So I would love if anyone could follow me there.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, dear, I appreciate you taking this time because I know that you're busy, you got a lot going on, but I also think that I know that your story is going to be impactful for people.
Thank
Let them
you.
know that they're not alone because sometimes, like we as people, we feel alone in what we're going through.
Yes.
So when you hear someone else, just let you know, like, hey, you're not alone. So I appreciate you taking the time. I hope you guys enjoy this segment. All right. And I will see you on the next episode. Peace.